Now at 11, a church goes up in flames the night before Sunday morning service.
And it was a beautiful, beautiful church, and it's going to be missed by many, many, many people.
It's pretty devastating. It's been here a long time.
Plus, an extended warning for Salem tap water, why the city says it's not ready to lift that advisory. And a mother behind bars tonight after this video went viral. KOIN 6 News starts right now.
Live from the KOIN Center in downtown Portland, this is KOIN 6 News. Watching out for you.
This is KOIN 6 News at 11. I'm Trevor Ault. A deadly crash in Tillamook County shut down Highway 6 near the Kings Mountain Trailhead earlier tonight. We know it involved multiple vehicles and that at least one person is dead. Roads were blocked off while crews investigated and worked to clear the scene. At last check, the scene has since been cleared. We're still working to learn if there are any other victims and how this crash happened. You can follow any updates we learn at KOIN.com. A street racing crash near Vancouver leaves one man dead, and now police are looking for the other driver. This happened early yesterday morning on SR 503, about 2 miles north of Vancouver. Troopers say the two cars were racing and they collided, sending one of them into a tree. The other car then took off and hasn't been seen since. The driver of the wrecked car has been identified as 29-year-old Ariel Romano, and he died at the scene. Members of the Hillside Bible Church held their service outside this morning beside the charred remains of their church. Fire tore through the historic building Saturday night, and KOIN 6's Jennifer Dowling explains why the building meant so much to the community, even those who weren't part of the congregation.
Well, it's pretty devastating. It's been here a long time.
Some parishioners and local residents were brought to tears while surveying the damage at the Hillside Bible Church.
Well, it was really sad to watch it burn down yesterday.
Fresh vases of flowers sat in the barrels just beyond the rubble of the building that served the community for more than 100 years.
I think people are pretty sad. You know, they do a lot of things for the community in this church.
The church was built around 1884 and has served as a gathering place as well as a place of worship.
And, you know, we don't have many community spaces out here, and this was one of the last ones.
A marvelous place to be.
When Forest Grove Fire and Rescue arrived, the church was fully engulfed in flames. Still pics showed just how intense the fire was. 5 minutes after crews arrived, they say the steeple collapsed.
When we lost the church, I was pretty sad because when I went to vacation Bible school here, it was really fun.
Pastor Tim Gould led about 70 parishioners and other residents in prayer this morning under the old sign reading, "Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good." Tim posted on the church's webpage, "Even though our building has gone, our church family is still alive and well and are very excited to see what God has in store for us."
You could always tell people that where the Hillside Church was, and everybody'd say, oh yeah.
The pastor tells me they'd like to salvage some memories from the fire, including this bell. He says 5 firefighters tried to retrieve it from the rubble as the church burned down last night, but it was so heavy they were unable to lift it. They're hoping to get that out eventually.
You know, there's so few small country churches like this left that, you know, this really represents what it means to live out in the country and know your neighbors and go to church with your neighbors. And
it's going to really be missed.
Pastor Tim says at least 5 churches have offered space for them to worship. In Forest Grove, Jennifer Dowling, KOIN 6 News.
Well, a man was stabbed and had his SUV stolen and his garage set on fire in what police are calling a targeted attack. This all happened just south of Ridgefield, Washington. Investigators say the 2 attackers assaulted the homeowner in the garage, then burglarized the home, and then after starting the fire, they took off in the man's SUV. The vehicle was found later abandoned in northeast Vancouver. The homeowner was airlifted to the hospital. His condition has not been released, and the suspects are still out there. Detectives in Polk County have arrested a suspect they say shot and killed a man yesterday afternoon on Black Rock Road near Falls City. Investigators say 61-year-old Dennis Sarver is being held for murder, criminally negligent homicide, and manslaughter in the 2nd degree. A man plowed his SUV through the main entrance of a Seattle high school this week. Check it out. It took tow trucks to pull it out. Police say a man may have been drunk, but some students say that he might have been showboating. Fortunately, nobody was hurt.
So if there's kids here, if that would have happened there today, that hallway right there is a huge traffic area for foot traffic. So that's between the two buildings. The art area is all over there, and that's classrooms, that building. So it could have been a lot worse.
The school district says that the school's events and classes will go on as planned. The latest test results show toxins in Salem's drinking water are back below EPA advisory levels, but the city isn't taking any chances. They're still keeping the water advisory in effect for the next 2 weeks. They say that's an effort to be proactive. Officials stress that the water is safe to drink for the vast majority of people. But this weekend, water filling stations in Salem have been packed with people who themselves aren't taking any chances. Now, there may be some help from Mother Nature because of this weekend. PSU professor Hee-Jen Chung says our hot, dry May likely contributed to the bloom in Detroit Lake. But now the cooler temperatures and the rain that we had yesterday and today could help break up the algae.
I certainly think this will help reduce the algal bloom because when it rains, it naturally disappears, but we'll see.
Maybe we'll get enough of a storm. That's what I'm hoping for, a good storm. We need it. We need the rain.
In the meantime, drinking water is being provided to those in need, and we have a list of water filling stations available on our website. Want to bring in meteorologist Steve Pierce. Steve, we've been watching the rain through the weekend. Should be done with it by now, right?
Cold and wet both yesterday and today, but it is quickly drying out, just like we were talking about in the 6 o'clock show. And I think you're going to be really surprised tomorrow. All sunshine. Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Great.
Big rebound. Let's get right into it, Trevor. Take a look at this. A time lapse. Looks more like maybe March than June up at Mount Hood Meadows. 5,300 feet of elevation. They picked up several inches of snow out there, and it's not going to stick around. It'll melt tomorrow. 34 degrees up there at Mount Hood Meadows right now, a live shot. And back down here in Portland this evening, if you were out, boy, you saw the rain continue to come down. It was moderate to heavy in some areas, lighter in other areas. A live look outside downtown Portland right now. Ships are there. They're going to be heading out tomorrow as Rose Festival fleet wraps up and heads out. 53 degrees right now in your 11 o'clock hour. East-northeast wind light at just 6 miles per hour. At sunset at 9 o'clock. Quick look at high temperatures. 58 at PDX. That's as much as we could muster today. That's about 13, 14 degrees below where we should be this time of the year. A quick look at radar as we zoom in on the metro area. The light rain is starting to ease off now in Clark County, Columbia County, Cowlitz County. It's all moving off to the south and to the east. It should clear out of here right around midnight or 1 a.m. as it continues to move off. A nice ridge of high pressure building out there in the Pacific. Current look at these are rainfall amounts since midnight last night. 0.2 of an inch at Portland, but 0.4 out of McMinnville. Now over an inch there in Newport. That just updated a few minutes ago. So quite a bit of rain depending on where you're at there. Look at that. Mostly sunny in the morning. Then we go nice and sunny all day tomorrow. Temperatures rebounding back up into the 70s. Next 7 days or next 5 days, PDX rain chances. We tapered off to 10% tomorrow, and then maybe just a chance of a shower on Wednesday before the big warm-up going into the holiday weekend. Check those numbers out. 81 on Tuesday, a cool down on Wednesday, and then a big ramp up towards Father's Day weekend. 88 for a high temperature there in the Portland area, and some of the models going a little warmer than that. So we'll see over the next couple days. We'll refine that. There's that 7-day forecast. Just a chance of a shower Wednesday, Thursday. We go back to mostly sunny on Friday, and then hey, great Father's Day coming next weekend for all the fathers.
Yeah, hopefully that question mark will turn into an exclamation point for next
yeah,
for Father's Day.
I think we'll see what we can do.
All right, thank you, Steve. And now at 11, here are 6 things coming up this week that you need to know about, on top of the fact that we got that great weather for Father's Day. First, a traffic alert. All the ships that have been in town for Fleet Week will be leaving tomorrow morning, and that means you need to be prepared for bridge lifts. The Broadway, Steel, and Burnside bridges all lift at 7:30, 8, 9, and 9:30 in the morning. Starting tomorrow, the Port of Hood River is introducing new parking fees for some parts of the waterfront. That's going to cost $2 an hour. Officials tell us with the town continuing to grow, they are seeing costs rise and people parking longer than ever. Most of the waterfront, though, will continue to have free parking. Also tomorrow, the Columbia Gorge Express bus will begin operating 7 days a week, year-round. The Express is in its 3rd year, and up to this point, it was usually a Friday, Saturday, Sunday service. But starting tomorrow, you can hitch a ride to Rooster Rock State Park, Multnomah Falls, Cascade Locks, and Hood River any day of the week. Multnomah County plans to open an all-men's 125-bed homeless shelter in southeast Portland's Mill Park neighborhood this Friday, though neighbors say the county didn't directly notify them about the shelter plan. There is an open house at the shelter. It's at 5:30 this Tuesday evening. And Tuesday is also when the county says a temporary 7-foot fence will be installed between the shelter property and residents' backyards. Tomorrow, the Federal Communications Commission officially rolls back net neutrality. The FCC voted to repeal the Obama-era rules in December. Major internet service providers say the web will remain essentially unchanged with the rollback, but consumer reports say data caps could become widespread for broadband service. The best way to protect yourself is to read the fine print on your internet service plan. Finally, the stage is set in Singapore for an unusually high-stakes summit between two world leaders. President Trump is meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un there on Tuesday. Both of them arrived in the city this morning. Tuesday's summit will mark the first time a sitting U.S. president has met with a North Korean leader. So exactly how did the U.S. and North Korea go from what seemed to be the brink of war just a few months ago to a joint appearance on the world stage? CBS's Ben Tracy takes us through the twists and turns that led them to Singapore.
His endless string of missile launches earned Kim Jong-un one of President Trump's most memorable and derisive nicknames.
Rocket Man is on a suicide mission for himself.
North Korea pulled no punches, calling the president old, senile, and mentally deranged. But the rhetorical fire and fury stopped in January when Kim Jong-un offered to send North Korean athletes to the February Olympics in South Korea and proposed a summit with President Moon Jae-in. But first, in March, Kim Jong-un paid a visit to President Xi Jinping of China, the North's main ally and trading partner. This was the North Korean dictator's first meeting with another head of state, and his first trip outside North Korea as its leader. Then the historic North-South Summit 1 month later, where Kim Jong-un showed off a previously well-hidden personality, even inviting President Moon to make a brief visit into the North. The 34-year-old suddenly looked less like an international pariah and more like a savvy politician, offering to dismantle his nuclear program and officially end the Korean War. And now, the ultimate prize, a sit-down with the President of the United States.
Kim Jong-un is actually getting something very significant simply by doing the meeting.
Paul Hanley was a member of the National Security Council during the Bush and Obama administrations.
Are you impressed by what he's accomplished in a short period of time?
One has to admit, he has played a relatively weak hand very cleverly.
Ben Tracy, CBS News, Singapore.
Still ahead on KOIN 6, a father and son get lost during a day out fishing.
We just didn't know if he was going to make it back.
They shared their story of survival, including what they did that led searchers to find them, plus what led up to this massive car crash. We'll show you on the other side of the break. Check out this video. It's getting a lot of attention on social media. It shows a woman opening pet kennels in the back of a van, but instead of pets climbing out, 2 children do. This happened in Memphis, Tennessee. Now that woman is behind bars. She's being charged with 2 counts of child endangerment. And also caught on camera, the dramatic end to a cross-bay chase and crash. It started in San Francisco, where a woman was abducted. It ended in this fiery crash in Emeryville near the Oakland border. Emeryville police said 1 person died in that crash and fire.
The vehicle crashed behind me, and the driver is now in critical condition, and the passenger was killed in the accident.
Police say the victim was assaulted and forced into a trunk. They say she was able to pull a lever inside the trunk and then escape. The injured driver was rescued by bystanders and is now in critical condition and under arrest. A missing father and son in Salem found by a National Guard helicopter crew tell us that rescue helped save their lives. The 2 men had set out on a day trip to fish at Leon Lake east of Salem, but a wrong turn ended with an overnight stay in a steep canyon. Their stories only on KOIN 6 tonight as they talk with our Lisa Balick.
At that point, yeah, because that was when it was like, okay, we're not getting out of here. We're stuck.
Josh Cox and his dad Corbin set out for what they thought was going to be a fun day of catching trout at Leon Lake.
I had my backpack, a lighter, a knife, and my tackle box, and my phone, and my wallet.
But the fun turned frightening. Lost, they knew to follow a creek, but it turned into a steep canyon.
We were literally
slide
stuck.
was too big. And then I came up on a log that probably came up to here of me. That's how high that thing was. And I looked over and it was down really steep, and then there was just no way we could go, and we were too weak and tired to try to get up it.
And then walking in the creek where it was.
They started a fire and slept on a log. Meanwhile, back at home, Joan Cox was in a panic. The men were long overdue and didn't have needed medications with them.
Well, we didn't hear them, we didn't see them. There was nothing. It's like, how did 2 grown men just go away?
She called the Marion County Sheriff's Office around 10 p.m. The search got underway. The men's car found Monday morning, but by then, the 2 men were weak and tired from no food and tough hiking.
I'm not going to see my mom, I'm not going to see my daughter again, I'm not going to see my family, you know, not watch my daughter play softball, seeing her graduate.
We just didn't know if he was going to make it back. I didn't know if I was going to, because of my blood pressure, I didn't know if I was going to have a heart attack or...
They gathered branches and moss, and with that tiny cigarette lighter, got another smoky fire going, which was spotted by the helicopter. Then Corbin waded into the water in a clearing.
I tried to walk out of these slippery rocks.
To be seen?
Yeah, and I slipped and fell.
Other than scrapes, the men are fine. But they have different fishing plans for the summer.
I'll stick to state parks and docks from now on.
Lisa Balick, KOIN 6 News.
To one of these guys over here.
An eventful weekend in the Rose City. The Rose Festival's wrapping up, but of course it wouldn't be complete without the dragon boat races. They brought a Chinese tradition to Portland's waterfront for 30 years now. Dozens of teams from all over the state, the country, even the world compete. And preserving canoe culture and protecting the environment was the goal today in Portland. Volunteers launched their canoes and kayaks from Willamette Park in southwest Portland and made their way up to Cathedral Park, where they picked up trash and removed invasive species. The Portland All Nations Canoe family led the effort. That group works to preserve indigenous culture, and that includes protecting water.
Water is life. That's our basic premise is water is life. If you don't have clean water, everyone, plants, animals, humans, we all need water.
And after all their hard work, the volunteers got to enjoy a cultural celebration and a potluck at the park. Let's get one more look at your weather. Steve's here.
Yeah, okay, so we had a nice long wet weekend. We had the coldest high temperature day, Trevor, since April 27th.
No kidding.
And we're doing that in June, so that's pretty rare around here, a cold
that's a long
weekend.
run.
After that, we're going to warm it up quickly. Lots of sunshine tomorrow, and then the warm day will be Tuesday. Get outside, get some yard work done. Temperatures in the lower 80s. Just a chance of a shower on Wednesday and Thursday as we cloud it up a little more. And then models right now, Trevor, are actually pretty much heading towards a very warm Father's Day weekend. That 88 on Sunday could be a little conservative, so we'll see how it all plays out. Natasha and Joseph will be in tomorrow to update the forecast.
All right, we're starting out good, only getting better from there. Thank you very much, Steve. Thanks everyone for watching. Game On is coming up next. We got the Blazers esports team in-house. Stick around.